Hello there, welcome back. This is my last video for this week. This is Looney Tunes Back in Action, a Joe Dante film from the mid-2000s, a film that was dumped. This is a beautiful disaster, I perceive as a beautiful disaster. These are for a series of films that were basically released and they just bombed horribly, and you know, it was like let's not speak of these films again type of thing. That's a beautiful disaster kind of thing is. But when those kind of films that do include something like The Thing and Blade Runner, originally they were, let's not talk about those, these were disasters type of thing, and then they grew up after that and became cult and then became classics. This is the same type of thing where this is the 2000s. Who knows how this film will age? But I watched it very recently and it's aged really well. It's actually much more it's aged a lot better than you'd suspect. One of the funny things for me is, if you've seen Sorry to Bother You, which had a twist that was raved about, really, this film has the same twist. It was done 10 years before, it included Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny, but it's the same twist. It shows people don't remember films very well. Now this film was made in, basically as a kind of follow-up to Space Jam. Space Jam was a big hit in the 90s, even though it was an absolutely awful film, it's unwatchable. If you like Space Jam, shame on you. Really, shame on you. I'm kidding, I didn't like it. But this was like, they thought they were doing another Looney Tunes film, so they hired Joe Dante because he'd done Gremlins and all those kind of films. They thought, well, he can do Looney Tunes. So they hired him, and then as the film went on, they hired a writer from The Simpsons to write it. And then as the film went on, all the script kept getting changed. Apparently it was a complete nightmare of a film where they changed their mind what they wanted all the time. And within this disaster, Joe Dante made a Joe Dante film. Because it just suddenly feels like it feels like they were wanting a kind of Gremlins type hit, and instead Joe Dante made Gremlins 2. He remade Gremlins 2, which is this weird, crazy sequel, which I just talked about. This film is almost like Gremlins 2 with Looney Tunes characters, and it's just wonderful. It stars Brendan Fraser in his best film. This is his best film by a mile. And yes, I include Gods and Monsters. This is better. Even though I'm probably the only person who thinks that. So yeah, Jenny Elfman's in it as well. Timothy Dalton plays the bondish character who's the father of Brendan Fraser, who's just a parody of Timothy Dalton's cinematic past. You have Steve Martin going way over the top as the chairman of Acme, doing this really weird performance that most people seem to hate. I really enjoyed it because it was so weird and twisted and different. It's just different. It's a very unusual performance, but it's really interesting. But the thing that makes it great, the thing that's wonderful about it is it's a Daffy Duck film. Now, it was promoted as Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, all the Warner Bros. Characters. The great thing about this film is it's a Daffy Duck film. Bugs Bunny's in it. He has to find Daffy for the first half of the movie. In the second half, they're with each other. It's a Daffy Duck film. Daffy Duck's my favourite Looney Tunes character. And I'm a big Looney Tunes fan from childhood, but Daffy's always my favourite because he's just a loser. He's such pathetic. Everything fails for him. That's what's funny about him. And this film embraces that. And I think that's probably one of many things that went against the film when it was released, because it's a film about a loser. But it's so funny how Daffy just destroys himself every time. Instead of thinking anything through, he is just straight into his being egotistical maniac. And it's just so funny. He just continues on, and every possible moment he will mess it up. And it's just hilarious. I think that's why I love this film, because it's a Daffy Duck film. It's just so funny, it's so hilarious, it's wonderfully done, it's just great. And the whole film has the feel of a Daffy Duck's mental landscape. You remember the Daffy Duck cartoon where they're changing the background on him, they're changing his body, and he's just loses his temper with the animator. Sort of that, but as a whole movie where he has to deal with all these weird characters and get everything wrong constantly. So there's moments where he's getting fired from the Warner Bros. Lot because he's been an idiot and he causes havoc for everybody, including destroying a Batmobile. He goes to Las Vegas, causes havoc, goes to this underground lair and ends up getting disintegrated. They go to the Louvre and end up running through all the paintings, and one of the great sequences in the 2000s, just go through paintings, different types of paintings, they're all jumping through them, and they mimic the style of whatever painting they're in, and they're getting chased by Elmer Fudd. And it's just hilarious, but it's always that chaotic thing of Daffy Duck. It just flows through the movie. Even at the end when he does the Duck Dodgers thing, it's still chaos, it's still insane. The whole movie is affected by his neuroses and insanity. The plot falls apart repeatedly, but it doesn't matter because it's a Daffy Duck film. And the plot doesn't really matter, it's just a sign of his utter craziness. And it's just like, because the film was so notoriously disorganised, that almost becomes a plus where lots of stuff's happening and it doesn't quite make sense. Because Daffy's the lead, it gives Joe Dante room to actually just adapt the film around this weird character. The whole film becomes this embrace of chaos of this self-destructive duck character. That's what's wonderful about it. So Bugs Bunny comes in, but he's almost like a commentator of Daffy's weirdness and Daffy's flaws, rather than being a Bugs Bunny film. Bugs Bunny doesn't really have many Bugs Bunny moments of fighting Elmer Fudd and things. There's little bits like the Louvre sequence and little moments against Marvin the Martian, but usually he's commenting Daffy. It's a bit of he's commenting Daffy's stupidity. And Brendan Fraser basically plays the sidekick to Daffy Duck, which is why it's his best film, because he's perfect for this kind of loser weirdo that has to deal with this stupid duck. And there's tons of weirdness going on, like when they go to the Area 51 thing where there's Daleks and killer brains and all these weird aliens, which is only Joe Dante would think of doing, like having cartoons mixing with Daleks. So yeah, basically it's chaos. The whole thing's chaos. It's wonderful chaos. It's just insanity. And all the actors just have to be insane. It's a pleasure to watch. I would recommend try and watch it. It is a mess, but it's wonderful. It's a wonderful mess. Give it a shot. It really deserves your time. Because even though it's a complete disaster production wise, it's obviously a Joe Dante film. It's so Joe Dante, it's insane. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll be back soon with some more videos. Right, bye.